up, my people? Mr. Al Pete, the MPN Network, the Neighbor's Way, the Neighborhood Show. We are back. Well, bike for Duval County, back for the world. That's how we say back down here. We so country down here,
Really?
so
Love
I
that.
like to tell my people, listen, we are bike. That's how we say bike. But nevertheless, we are here with some folks, man, and I got one of them. Shouts out to Sean Rule from Cosign. That's where I get my music from, and a good little bit of music from, and then he put me up on musclecars, and I was like, I've never heard of musclecars, but they have some great music, and it's has that experimentation action to it. Definitely gets the house disco as well as the other fusions of jazz. I do get a little bit of hip hop action, so it's just a gumbo of great music. So we are here with Craig and Brandon. How are y'all today?
Doing good.
That's good.
Doing good. Thank you for having us.
Nah, thanks for agreeing to do this. So won't hold y'all too long. We're just gonna have a conversation because I'm still in the process of learning all of the things that y'all have done. So I'm doing some catch up. So you're gonna be schooling me on some things, but I do have a little bit of things that I can kind of bring to the table, right? So I'm gonna, you know what? Let's just go into the is it the Haya, right? Eternal Life?
Yeah.
That's the song that I'm playing on my show currently, and we will play it on this. When I air this interview, this song will definitely play. But speak on that, because that was the first attachment that I got from y'all. That was the first introduction of Muscle Cars, and at the same time too, Muscle Cars, the name got to me as well, and I was like, I'm really interested to see where Muscle Cars, the name, comes from, because it sounds like a very cool name to have, and the single matches it as well. So let me know, is this the first single from the album, correct?
It's actually the second single.
Second.
Okay.
The first record, Running Out of Time. That's more of like a club, like dance floor filler. And yeah, Haya was like the second single. I feel like a lot of people expect like 4/4 house music from us because it's kind of like closer to the way in which we play in the club.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to like kind of throw people off or give people like a nice little surprise with more of like a jazz focused record with Haya. It's inspired by the Clark sisters, their cover, which is speaking to like eternal life. It's like a Hebrew tongue that they would like shout out in churches. And yeah, for us, there's a lot of things that come up in the album, and the theme of like mortality and life in the afterlife is definitely like a big theme in the album. So I feel like that's like a tribute to these like ideas.
Brandon, you got something?
Yeah, that's actually one of my favorite songs on the album. One of the first ones that was fully finished, I would say. Our good friend Natalie Greffel. She's an amazing vocalist, bass player, just all around musician, based out of Berlin. She's the one that's singing on the record. And then we have this flautist, Domenica, from this band called Underground System here in New York, who's playing flute on that. And yeah, one of my favorite songs on the record, actually.
So let's speak on the features on the album. I know you mentioned two. Are there any more that were on the that blessed the album?
Mhm. Yeah, we have this artist by the name of Kamal, who's on tonight. A good friend of ours, lives here in New York. Produces, I would say, kind of verges on like R&B, but also electronic and experimental at the same time. We have Eden, who's in this band called New Pass with Natalie Greffel. She's also living here in New York too. And who else? Am I missing anyone, Craig?
Yeah, we have like a very close friend of ours, Toribio, who was on it. He played on a couple tracks on the album, and we worked together to make this record, Circles. I think it's like track 12.
Oh man, Circles is I had that on my list. I'm sorry, Circles is like my favorite right now. So
that's all good. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah, I really love that record. I feel like so many of the songs that we have are like very honest to us. Nice. And it's always like really sweet to be able to include like some of our friends. And yeah, to that, we have like some amazing players on the album too. Like this band Bathe, which is like a surf rock band based in New York. Corey did the guitar on Dream Boy, this kind of like outro kind of break in the album. We have like a frequent collaborator, Bennett Pastor, who did the solos on some of the records. As Brandon said, Dominica from Underground System did the flute. Yeah, it's a real like family affair, it feels like.
Yeah.
And also
did you mention who was on Hello? Who was that on Hello?
On
Hello,
that's
Eden.
Okay.
Eden Gurma,
And then we also have Lindsay Summers and Samantha. Lindsay DJs by Lovey, and then Samantha goes by Honeybun. They're really close friends of ours, and Lindsay does a lot of the narration that you hear on the album. And then Samantha has a small portion for the skit part of Tonight in the intro.
Listen, what's a better way to make a great album with your friends?
Right.
Make music with your friends. It's like the best feeling ever. So congratulations to everybody that blessed the album. So I was doing a little bit of research. Well, before we get into it, who's the DJ, who's the producer, or is it both? Y'all do both?
It's both. Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering, you know, I'm a DJ as well, but I dabble in the production. But if somebody was to come to me and say, which one are you? I would be like, DJ, period. So, all right. So with that, the Boiler Room effect, I am a big fan of Boiler Room. I think that brand is like tremendous. I think it gives like the DJ and or producer, because actually all of the Boiler Rooms that I've seen, there have been producers that are DJs, you know, vice versa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how was that experience dealing with that? And I'm going to roll into coloring lessons as well. So I know y'all probably not shy from the Boiler Room, but I just feel like it seemed like Boiler Room is just another type of temperature, no pun intended. So how was your experience with doing Boiler Room?
Oh man, it was so much fun. We what was cool about that is we actually got to, it was all locals, or mostly locals. But yeah, our friend Caesar, who's on the album, actually played earlier on, like before us. And who else was on that lineup? Ayana Heaven, this other DJ based here in New York, and Alexis Crochet from Atlanta. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The energy is super high. Like I would say, as soon as we got there, earlier on during the party, it was like pretty much packed out. But yeah, my favorite part was just like us being able to like do this with like a lot of our close friends, which made it feel a lot more comfortable, for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting process because with the coloring lessons parties, a lot of the times we'll do like all night, play like 6 to 8 hours. And block party in June for Juneteenth, and even then we'll like play to like a bigger crowd, but the crowd is very like more familial. They like come to the parties and they come to like all of our things. But with Boiler Room, because it's such a big thing, you have people coming from like outside of the city, people who may not even know what's going on, just there for like a big party. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the way in which we play is also very interesting because we have like an hour to present the same thing that we would normally be trying to demonstrate hours. So it's cool. It's like a fun like little test to see like, you know, where we're at and like what we can do.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that they had other lineups as well. Like I guess because I'm looking at it from at YouTube, but just seems like it's just kind of like that special moment for that one artist or whatnot. I didn't know that it was like a lineup. Do they record all the other ones as well?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a full
yeah.
party.
Wow.
Yeah, I think the way that it like is displayed is almost like a showcase for each artist.
Hmm.
And I think sometimes when they upload the videos, it's like separated, so you don't really know if it's all a part of the same party. But yeah, it's pretty much a party, and they film each set and then upload that to YouTube.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that was when I ran to YouTube after I was playing your music on my show, ran to YouTube and saw the boiler room. I was like, oh, and in my mind, I'm like, oh, they like official. Not saying that y'all
Mhm.
wasn't, but I'm like,
Mhm.
if you end up on Boiler Room, and I've been following Boiler Room like crazy, I was like,
Mhm.
okay, well, they're on Boiler Room. Like Boiler Room is like top tier
Mhm.
DJ and display, like to
Mhm.
let people know, like, these are the sure shot DJ slash producers or whatnot. So I definitely enjoyed y'all. So any
Thank
plans to
you.
do another one? Maybe.
If they
So
reach
we
out, maybe.
yeah, it'd be cool. As I said, we have like this block party that we do, and we do it in collaboration with the Lot Radio, and we use the Lot to put up the YouTube videos um, as streams, kind of similar to like a boiler room effect. But just like the album, I feel like with the coloring lessons ethos, that we kind of do like a FUBU style for us by us kind of thing. And so I feel like the stuff that we are trying to showcase is more like stuff like that, like kind of underground artists who we really want to see shine out of New York City and beyond. And so I feel like you'll see more of that from us in the coming like year. And then yeah, Boiler Room like hits us up. We'd love to do another one. I'm sure it's on the horizon, but yeah, you know.
Gotcha. So let's talk about the coloring lessons. So this is a party that both of you put together, correct? Like it's I read a little bit up on it. It was saying that it's a party for the nightlife culture to kind of resonate it back. Can you walk us through like the nightlife culture, like and what both of y'all would like to add to that? I know y'all been adding to it already, but like walk us
Mhm.
through the people that don't know, because when I think of New York, um, anything New York, I'm thinking of high buildings, have
Mhm.
coming to these type of parties, like listening to the music that y'all perform. I'm thinking about going to a party in a basement somewhere and just catching all the vibes, like just being there
Mhm.
in the moment or whatnot. But walk us through that process.
For sure, yeah. I feel like it from the outside looking in, it definitely seems like that for New York, and right now it is. I think in the '90s, early 2000s as well. But in the early 2000s, we had this mayor Rudy Giuliani who really laid into these cabaret laws that we had, and so essentially it was like kind of footloose, like illegal to dance in clubs. Uh, and these laws would be super stringent, and it kind of forced the nightlife to kind of spread out and move more into like the warehouse space rather than like the actual like club and dance floor um, style parties that you'd probably be used to going to in the 90s or maybe you'd see on TV. Um, and so for this reason, we kind of lost what we had going on for us in New York City. Something new started, which was great, but I think what we're trying to get back to is more of a like club focused, community focused, party focused, whether it's in like a loft or at nowadays in New York, this club that we have here. Um, trying to bring back more of the togetherness and more of like the community through dancing aspect that we used to have in like the '90s, early 2000s.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's such a niche. At least the kind of music that we play, it's still till this day, it's still pretty niche. Like this New York sound, which consists of like soulful house music and disco and just jazz and other elements of dance music. And there are a lot of foundational producers and DJs that are still here, still somewhat active, but just don't get the chance to DJ or play parties at all. And so we also try to use our platform to shed some light on them and yeah, expose them to a younger audience.
Gotcha. So it's all about, well, part of the mission is the community aspect. That's what I'm hearing. I definitely love when people think about the community in that regard, especially with the type of music that y'all play. It's a lot of people definitely down here, that experimentation action. I wouldn't say it's not welcoming, but it's very difficult to have these type of spaces or whatnot. So um me personally, as a musician, DJ, hip hop artist, like I gravitate to experimentations and with the sense of community. Like, let's all get together, let's have a good time, let's dance. And even with the album, the fact that y'all went, which I'm rolling back into the album, when it go in regards to storytelling, when it comes to like giving the experience, and coloring lessons feels like that's what it be. So back to the storytelling aspect of the album, I see that it was a focus for y'all to do the storytelling. Can we speak on that? Both of y'all can chime in on that part, like the storytelling. Like, why is that important to put that in the music that y'all are pushing?
Yeah, for
Yeah, I
sure. I
think
mean,
it. Oh, go ahead.
go.
Yeah, no, I just think when I think back to like albums that I love, a lot of them have this aspect of like storytelling, and I feel like nowadays a lot of music that gets released, especially in the dance music space, it's just a lot of like EPs and singles and just these kind of like really quick, uh, you know, records that are made just to get played in a club. And so yeah, there's a sense of like yeah, just trying to do everything like really fast and uh, not really taking your time. And yeah, we felt like storytelling was just important because it's also something that's kind of lost. A lot of our favorite albums back in the day had these like skits and these narrations and uh, different textures and moods, and wasn't so predictable.
Yeah, I think to that, it does make it more interesting for us. Just being able to speak to something, and with the album, it's definitely like heavily influenced by like our experiences. So it's just like a very real thing to speak to what we go through, and our like what we're living, and being like honest and allowing ourselves to be vulnerable. And it's kind of like the only way we know how to make music. Even the EPs that we've had have been like speaking to very like real experiences, even if it's like a track without any vocals. So
I mean, even from the cover art, some of the cover arts that y'all have had, it definitely gives that feel, that vulnerability feel, and just I mean, and whatever word that we want to say, vulnerability, like um with ease or something like that. It gives that feel. So I definitely understand that from that music. All right. Do y'all have any plans for the albums? Like, are y'all go on a tour, or what's the next steps of it now that it's out? It's only been out for like a couple of weeks. So yeah. So do y'all have any plans coming up, or is it going to be like a special edition coloring lessons party?
yeah, we are on tour. uh Today's our like we have like some off weeks in terms of like Monday through Thursday we'll be home, and then the weekend will be gone. So tomorrow morning we're going to Detroit, for movement weekend, and we play like 3 times out there. But yeah, we'll be on tour until October, I think.
Mm.
Forth between Europe, Asia, and like around the States. Um, we have for coloring lessons, we have our block party that we throw every Juneteenth on June 16th in New York City. Um, to that, we'll have some more exciting stuff for y'all to listen to coming out when it comes out. Definitely before the summer's over. So yeah, we're excited.
Yeah,
Yeah. So y'all working basically. Y'all heavily working.
yeah.
Indeed, indeed. Well, a couple more questions. I see that there is a label. Is it Coloring Lessons? Um, it's the
Kevin
label,
Lessons
correct?
Records. Yeah.
Yeah. So is this the platform that you spoke on before in regards to getting people the platform to be able to express themselves, etc.?
It's
Yeah,
definitely one of them. Yeah.
yeah. It's funny because like once you from the outside looking in, it's like just music gets made and it gets released. But as an artist, I'm sure you know like everything from doing the artwork to pressing the record, all this stuff costs so much money, and that's assuming you know how to do it. Um, and so yeah, we just provide like uh, insight, and we'll do this for people who don't even sign on the label, just like for people in our community and in our scene. But yeah, for people who are on the label, we try to set them up for success and the way that like our deals are structured and the way that we can provide like insight to what they should do or what they could do to get their music out there to who they want to get their music out to. And, at the end of the day, it's also just about like putting out good music, you know, that we believe in. So we're great at that platform.
Yeah. Well, I'm tapped in now, so it's I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I can't wait to get to a point where I can I have a couple of gigs coming up. They're like kind of concentrated, but I have some other gigs coming up soon where it's like free form where I can be able to DJ some stuff. So I'm definitely looking forward to like spreading the music from a DJ standpoint. On the show, of course, we're going to play that. Is there a song that y'all would like me to play on the show as well? I mean, because I got higher, but I mean, can I throw circles in there, or y'all is something that y'all want me to concentrate on?
I mean, Brandon, do you have any?
Yeah, I was gonna say I really, really like I don't remember the last time I saw Stars. Which is kind of in that same vein as Haya, this kind of like jazz loft inspired dance record. Um, yeah, that's my pick.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like
Well,
for like this track, Every Party Must Come to an End. It's like the post, like part 2 of the record Tonight. But I like it because it has like a very hip hop, like R&B feel to it. Kind of like back to like our roots of just like growing up on hip hop. And yeah.
nice. Okay. All right. So last question. And first off, I want to thank y'all for taking the time to be on the neighborhood show. Hopefully everybody is enjoying this lovely interview, and hopefully this won't be the last time we speak. But I just want to know y'all influences. Like let's do producer and DJ. Who's your favorite producer and who's your favorite DJ? If you need me to start, I can start.
Yeah, right. You should start. It's such a tough question.
All right. So my favorite DJ is DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Of course.
He's the greatest. He is the greatest. Favorite producer, Jay Dilla.
Okay. Brennan, you got
favorite DJ.
You can say yourself if you want to. That's fine. Totally fine. If you want
to say. There was this local person by the name of Carlos Sanchez, who is probably I would say my favorite DJ to this day. And then favorite producer, it's such a tough one. But right now that I've kind of been just looking out for is Inflow, who produces for Cleo Soul and Salt.
Yeah, I think for myself, favorite DJ would also have to be Carlos Sanchez. It's like a late mentor of ours. We have like a track featuring him on the album.
It's the interlude, right?
Yes, yeah.
It's the interlude, yeah.
Yeah, incredible DJ, the most impeccable taste. My favorite producer, it's so hard because I always think about like the musicians but I'll say one person who always shocks me with whatever they're putting out is Maurice Fulton. He did everything from like Gypsy Women, She's Homeless, to some of the stuff that he is putting out now, which can be super experimental, but then he'll have like some disco stuff and he'll have some house stuff. Like he really does it all, and I think in a very a way that really shows his artistry. So
yeah, for sure.
Some great choices. All right. Well, again, I thank y'all. Musclecars. Oh, sorry. Musclecars.
Yeah.
Where does that come from? The name.
Craig, you wanna answer this one?
Not into cars really. Actually, like I drive, but it's like a name that our friends gave us when we were younger. It's like part of an inside joke, and we just kind of kept saying it back and forth to each other. And we needed a name for like our first DJ gig or our second DJ gig.
Okay.
So yeah, it kind of stuck.
Okay. Cool.
Funny.
Well, it's a cool name. It's definitely a cool name. So, but thank you again. Hold on, but don't hang up. I got to close the show out. So, but I want to thank Muscle Cars, Brandon and Craig. I greatly appreciate y'all for being on this episode. Greatly enjoy the music. I'm gonna be spreading it like crazy down here in the South in Jacksonville, Florida, so I get more people involved. But and last thing, let them know where they can find you at.
Yeah. Well, firstly, thank you for having us, and thank you for the support. It means a lot. You can find us at musclecars NYC on Instagram, musclecars NYC on SoundCloud. Those are kind of the main two platforms that we use.
And then at Coloring Lessons, SoundCloud, Facebook, wherever y'all looking.
It's cool. All right. Well, it's Muscle Cars, Mr. Al Pete, the Neighborhood Show. We'll be right back. Actually, we're finna get into a jam circles. I'm gonna play circles, and then we'll come back. All right. It's the Neighborhood, y'all.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.